Chapter 13 Sporty. Jordan Johnson was a sport enthusiast and had always been looking for ways to support the NHL, NBA, soccer teams and every other sporting organization in the States by working with stadiums. But he had a problem. The virus was slowly sweeping the country, and this would mean that people wouldn't turn out for games anymore. But even more than that, he feared that when people were away from the stadium for that long, there would be no way to keep them up to date with information about games, and when the stadium would start functioning again, and as a result, there would be no people to fill the stadium during games. What do I do to help this situation? Jordan thought. Blizzy Codes. It was going to solve that easily. If he put up a Blizzy Code on doors of the stadium and the walls around it, people who passed by could scan the code and get information about when they would be open or when games could be played again. I need to get this to reach more people, he said to Tucker one day. Tucker was his best friend and personal advisor. Tucker had been of great help with Blizzy Codes matters especially, and Jordan greatly appreciated that. Today they were both seated in Jordan's home talking about the Blizzy Codes they had put out in the stadiums and around it. Indeed, although a lot of people had scanned the Blizzy Codes on the walls and doors, he could find a promotional means to get this to more people. Masks. Tucker let out. How about we place the Blizzy Codes on masks? He asked Jordan. That's perfect. But how about people who cannot afford them? The masks, I mean, Jordan asked. It had always been his lifestyle to try to make things easier for people, especially those who were not as privileged. We could do giveaways instead of selling it, Tucker suggested. Now that's more like it. Jordan commented. Mask giveaways. They got everything ready the next day for the mask giveaways and everyone got a mask. This helped the people greatly as they stayed up to date with game fixtures without having to visit the stadium to check every day. They could be updated by just scanning the Blizzy Code on their masks. It also provided a two-way communication system where people could interact and give feedback. Everyone loved this innovation and they all wanted to adopt it personally by getting their own Blizzy Codes. Soon, each player had their Blizzy Code which they wore on their masks, handbands and wristbands. The Blizzy Code was so appreciated, especially because the Blizzy Code was exposed in a very creative way. In fact, one of the masks was placed in the Rivera Klein Museum as the first innovative disruptive technology built into a face mask. With this, the Blizzy Code was greatly promoted and it brought about the NFT art. Jordan was greatly impressed by his technology and how viral it had gone. Blizzy Codes will fuel the NFT digital art space, he said to himself. We will provide NFT on the Blizzy Code to be bought and sold in the near future.